Hello, it's Butterfree, and today I will be discussing goth without lace. People think goth has a uniform. Lace, corsets, Victorian collars, romantic silhouettes, but goth didn't start as decoration. It started as a feeling. So the question isn't can you be goth without lace? The real question is, what happens when you strip goth down to its bones? Lace didn't invent goth. It entered, later through, Victorian mourning culture, Gothic literature adaptation, fashion romanticizing death and decay. Over time, lace became shorthand, a visual shortcut. But shortcuts are dangerous. They turn subcultures into costumes. Goth was never about looking historical. It was about expressing what society didn't want to see. If you remove lace, what's left? Silhouette, texture, intent. Structure instead of frills, shadow instead of ornament, weight instead of decoration. A stiff black trouser can be more goth than a lace skirt. It feels like armor. Goth isn't softness by default, it's presence. Tailoring is deeply goth. Why? Because structure implies control, containment, restraint. Things goth has always cared about. A sharp shoulder, a heavy coat, a high waist that holds you together. There is something haunting about clothes that don't ask to be touched. Romance doesn't have to be delicate. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's severe, sometimes it's silent. If lace is gone, texture takes over. Think wool that absorbs light, leather that creases with age, matte cotton that looks almost dead, satin that reflects just enough to feel unsettling. Goth thrives in materials that feel lived in, not precious. The beauty is in wear, in weight, in restraint. Nothing shiny for the sake of being shiny, nothing soft without purpose. A lot of people feel more goth when they remove the feminine attribute. That doesn't mean rejecting womanhood, it means rejecting performance. Masculine goth is about neutrality, protection, being unreadable. There's something powerful about clothes that don't explain you. No lace, no frills, just form. That silence, that's goth. Here's the truth. When you remove lace, you remove nostalgia. You remove fantasy. You remove the comfort of recognition. And what's left is darker, more modern, more confrontational, more honest. People don't ask, is this goth, because it isn't. They ask because it doesn't perform goth for them. And that discomfort, that uncertainty, that's very goth. So, can you still look goth without lace? Yes. If the clothes feel like armor, the silence feels intentional, if the darkness feels lived in, not decorative, goth doesn't need permission. It doesn't need history lessons. And it definitely doesn't need lace to exist. Sometimes the most goth thing you can do is stop explaining yourself.